Good morning. Thank you for joining this session. And today I'm going to talk about possible integration pattern in OCI. Why I said OCI? Because you can say most of the OCI offering, which we are going to talk in this video. Most of the time when you go for integration, you can't achieve all the different pattern only through OIC. And let me tell it, I got an opportunity where I was part of Unity Infinity Responses implementation, and I got opportunity to explore many OCI offering to achieve all the business use case. So this is what I would be talking in today video. So what are the objectives today? First is integration patterns. What all integration pattern we are going to have, testing strategy, deployment process, handover model, governance, and monitoring. Let's start with integration patterns. Primarily, this video will mostly focus on integration patterns. So first pattern is in-memory cache pattern. That is, just think you are integrating your Infinity system, your CDV system. You are getting number of requests, and sometimes your request is keep coming, and you don't want every time to hit your target system because when you are going to make git update, firstly it takes time, and second, maybe that last update didn't happen, and you might get the previous updated record. In one of the use case where customer was sending data from portal, so just think one use case where you are going to Facebook and you have option to change opt-ins, like whether you want notification through SMS, uh, email, and could be many other opt-ins, mail, invoice, all those things. And if it happens like you just toggle between the opt-ins very frequently, and those opt-in will go to CDP, yeah, any downstream system. And since they toggle very frequent, it might happen you won't be managing sequence of your request in right way. And when it hit your target system, maybe there is switch between the consecutive request. In that case, this pattern going to help. So if you're going to keep intermediate in memory cache pattern, that will help a lot. In this case, you are not hitting target system all the time. In the very first request, it will check whether this is new customer, yeah, existing customer. And in the middle, you are keeping that response. So just think if it is new customer, you will create two downstream, you will keep one copy in the middle. Second, if they toggle for 10 minutes, they are keep sending request. You are not hitting target. In the middle, you are just responding. So always you are giving them the last opt-in, and at last you are syncing those those requests with downstream before this cache expire. This is what we done. So here source system, I said like I given portal could be any source system, Salesforce, in the middle OIC, and this OIC is calling uh, Redis cache. In one of the compute instance, you can set up this cache, and at last it will go to target. So in very controlled way, you can do the processing. Now let me switch to another pattern that we call OCI streaming gateway. In the use case, Infinity keep sending data to Unity directly. First problem, they use basic auth, which was authenticating all the time through IDCS. And if you are using IDCS, uh, they have a different subscription. Ideally, if it is default subscription, there is limit of your authentication. Like per second, you can authenticate this many requests, and every time it was reaching threshold, and because of that, it started impacting many other integration. So then we change basic to auth, and then also we have seen problem because each request hitting Unity with a token. And then we suggested why to go one by one. Why not keep in the middle where Infinity will post all messages to streaming, and streaming will uh, voice will communicate with the streaming where they will take in batches, and those batches will send to Unity in one shot. So in this requirement, just think you have batch of 1,000, and if you get 10K message, only you are hitting 10 times to Unity. Earlier, 10,000 times you were hitting. So you can see, you can define your batches. It will help to reduce the number of call. And this streaming is scalable. Ingestion very important. And your batching is you can scale your batching based on the number of messages. In our case, we got 2 million for one process every day. And like that, we define this debatching concept. And here, Infinity will talk to API Gateway. API Gateway has auth JWT session. This huge function to post message to a stream, and a stream will connect. YC will connect to a stream, pull the message, mapper will map in batches, and eventually it will go to CDP. This is the high level flow. This function is written in Python. So here, what all offering we have explored: API gateway, one of the offering; function, another offering; Python, you are going to set up Python script over compute instance. This is third offering. Monitoring and observability, you can explore like how many messages you received, and you can see the you can get data for monitoring. And fourth is streaming and OIC. So this many offering you can explore to achieve this requirement. Now let me switch to another use case. This is like if your REST API has complication and you are not able to manage through OIC. In that case, you can explore function as a service where you can have call through OIC, and OIC you we have uh, signature signature uh, security, which help to connect to OCI, any of the OCI offering. So here in one of the API, though it was post call, but in turn it was acquiring dynamic URL, and then it was constructing new URL along with cookie to make gate call. And from gate call, it got 200 success. This REST API, though it is one call from OIC, but beneath that, it has two-step process of post and get. And somehow we found in many different approach we tried out to achieve through OIC, and we couldn't achieve. Then we thought of switching to function, and once you switch to function, you have option to use Python, Java, whatever language uh, you like. Now let me switch to another use case that is simple data sync up. And what we are trying to say, like you need to build client in such a way this client can handle uh, your requirement in many different purpose. Like this client can, you can schedule this client through one of the scheduler where every 20 minutes it will look for transaction and it will synchronize with uh, CDP. In between, you have chunking, you are splitting, setting up new batch, and then you are populating to responses. So similarly, here you can use by ID where you can consume this client where you're just going to push number of by IDs file based. So this process is going to schedule. I mean, this process is going to support real time file based many things. So you can achieve in single process. Let me switch to another requirement. This is generally most of the client use, and this is pure scripting. When you get large volume of file, 5 GB, 4 GB, or more than 2 GB, you can generally we use Python scripting. It will pull data from multiple system, it process, and then it call responses. Yeah, it call Unity, where it process the data. So this requirement is widely used where uh, we used to synchronize if we have large set of data, if we need to modify large set of data. Yeah, sometimes uh, just think before we deploy our process, we might need to initialize the process. In that case, to just to init, you can use scripting. So here, CDP, you this script is running over compute instance. It will take data from CDP. I mean, CDP will export data to OIC, SFTP, or any of the bucket. Similarly, it will take data from responses SFTP. You have your script which you can schedule through cron job. Every day it will run and it will set up delta file, and this delta file you can move to responses. This is different integration styles, which most of the developer know. Like if they are when they are going to create integration, what pattern they should follow, whether it is app driven, schedule, event driven, file based, and mostly we used to follow this pattern. We used to set up util uh, based on their business entity. So if some system you are incorporating, if they have customer business unit, order, order item, yeah, incident, incident event, um, then you can set up number of util, and this is main process which are going to have logics. It can be invoked through schedule based process, yeah, file based process. It will process call number of system. It has orchestration, and it will invoke util to push data to that specific business entity. This is a bigger subject. I already have video for this OCI observability and management, and this is huge. If there is any issue, like just think we have number of script running over compute instance, and if any of the script got failed, we can enable notification. Similarly, OIC, you can't retain log for more than 32 days. If you use this option, then if you enable activity stream, you through REST API, you can search your payload. So this is going to take um, more time. So if I remember one session I have taken, so you follow that video. This is integration deliverable. Generally, we list down number of integration, and if you are building integration, you need to work on technical design document where you are just trying to break up into small technical spec along with your um, high level design diagram, all the things you are keeping in one of the document. And development life cycle could be dev, SIT, UAT, prod. It depends how many instances they are going to acquire for the system which they are bringing. And similarly, we set up that many OIC instance, and that could be the deployment life cycle. This is about in Unity what if you are using real-time streaming, how it works, if it is batch, how it works, and generally Unity, how you can connect to Unity. You can have 360-degree view, you can set up ID graph, you can set up streaming, you can use data entity, you can consume segment, you can use external segment, and you can enable disable jobs, you can run ID graph. All those things you can do it from OIC. So here you can see it is Unity high level is for unifying, enriching, segmentation, analytic, and engagement. So once you get data in master customer, those are transactional data. Those data can be used for running campaign. It can be used for responses, for sending notification. It has data from various different sources. That's why we call customer data platform. I guess that's it for today. Let's catch up tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.